Welcome to the Halloween episode. Now it's Radventure time, so let's spook it into action. Hey guys, welcome to an all-new episode. Today we're going to be talking about Big Bad Beetleborgs. And since it's the Halloween episode, I thought this would be the perfect episode to watch during spooky season. This is one of the better Saban sort of Power Rangers spin-offs because it does like its own like thing. Like, barely seen much of the tokusatsu that it's based on, but it definitely isn't kids turning into these heroes. And it definitely doesn't include like knockoff Universal monsters. So they definitely went their own route with this, and that's pretty cool. And I love the Universal monsters. When I was a kid, everything was monsters. I had Universal monster coloring books. I had some toys. I had drawings and decorations. I dressed up as Frankenstein a couple of times. So yeah, I loved the Universal monsters. And so seeing these monsters in this show was every week, like, oh, that was amazing. Oi, trick or treat, mate. Hey, what's up, Scoutfire? You filming your video outside tonight? Well, yeah, it's Halloween, you know. You got to be out on the streets and with all the cool, spooky decorations. Or like your jack-o'-lantern head. Yeah, it's a Silver Shamrock original. Whatever that means, mate. But anyways, I heard you talking about the Universal monsters. Well, yeah, so in Big Bad Beetleborgs, it's about these three typical average kids, and they find a haunted mansion. And then they become superheroes. But in the haunted mansion that they find, there's also like a vampire, a werewolf. And it's not a Dracula or a Wolfman. You know, they got to keep it separate. Well, that's what I'm talking about, mate. Because I know the real Dracula. He's right here. Come here, Dracula, mate. Hello, I am Dracula. I want to watch your show. Oh, wow. Hey, Dracula. You're the real Dracula. That's right. And this Beetleborgs, I do not appreciate. There's this Fangula character. He is nothing like me. All right, well, we'll see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first episode of Big Bad Beetleborgs. So a nice spooky opening, already like very different from any of the other shows. It seems like an odd choice, but this sort of mishmash is just, I don't know, it really makes it really unique.
Look, there's Roland.
Still working on that magic trick.
All right, Roland, you're really getting the hang of that magic stuff.
The name's Magic. Call me Magic.
Hey, you're late. The new Beetleborgs just came in an hour ago.
Awesome. I had to pick up Joe here from Little League.
Oh, and don't forget to mention we creamed them royally, thanks to my supersonic spinball.
Modest, isn't she?
Is Heather working today by any chance?
Yeah.
Drew and Heather sitting in a tree.
So we meet our main characters, and of course we have to set up the obligatory crush for the main character, Drew. Then there's Roland's grandma, Nano.
You call that a race snake? You took that curve like a sissy. You gotta get low and mean to be mean.
All right, I like this Nano. She's a cool biker chick. Me, her, Miss Starkey. We all gotta start our own biker gang. Scales Angels, am I right? Sure.
Hey, Heather.
Hey, Drew.
Oh my gosh, the way she says, hey, Drew. Like, are we supposed to, like, is she supposed to be, like, really, really not into him? Or is it just like bad acting, which could be the case also, but I don't know. That seemed pretty much like she's just like, hey, Drew, like she is so not into it. But either way, Drew's like totally in love with this Heather. And he has this sort of like this fantasy sequence here.
Fear not, princess. I, the blue singer boy, will save you. Right where I wanted you.
And this is all original footage. Like they didn't need to go this hard in the first episode, but this is like what I appreciate about some of these early Saban shows. Like they're not just a dub of the Tokusatsu show. Like it's its own creation. I mean, and to the extent whether that creation is a good thing, that's a whole other thing. But at least it's original, which I think is something that's kind of lacking in some of the later adaptations where it's kind of just a remake.
Give me that. What do we have here? The three little dorks reading those infantile Beetleborg comics. Don't be such a drip, Trip. Ooh, big man. That's such a way with words.
And I love that they have these little rich snobs as the quote unquote bullies. Instead of just doing like another Bulk and Skull type of thing, this just like adds to, again, the originality. It's like these are bullies, but they're not the type you would normally expect in a show like this. So I think that's pretty cool.
You guys are nothing but a pack of wimpy wannabes. You're not.
I bet they couldn't last a minute in the old Hillhurst estate.
As if you could.
Not only could, but did. Last night, as a matter of fact. Okay, just to prove that we're not the wimps, let's all go down in the house and see who can last the longest.
What?
What's the matter? Chicken?
So they decide to spend the night in the Hillhurst mansion. And Trip and Van have this idea to dress up as monsters to scare them.
All right, let's get to work. Come on.
But which doesn't really make sense because like they were just there the night before and Van got scared of a real monster. So they know there's real monsters there. So I don't know why they have to go through all this like dressing up as them, but whatever. Let's just move on.
Just a pile of junk.
Hey, who are you calling junk? Huh?
Ew, gross.
That's better. Gross I can live with, but junk, that's just not right. What you see is not always what you get.
Okay, now I don't know if I ever knew this or just forgot, but mums can just like unwrap and become a different monster underneath. Like, I had no idea. That's crazy. And I don't know the logic behind it, because why wouldn't he just be like more of like a zombie rather than this like Grim Reaper-y thing? But whatever, Saban, you do you.
Yeah. Ooh. Huh? Yeah. I'll have to call him back. My lunch has just arrived.
So the real monsters kind of scare the kids away and Trip and Van run away again. They lose the bet. And so Drew, Roland, and Joe are still in there.
You little juvenile delinquents picked the wrong house to break into. Yeah.
Huh? Come on, let's go. Yeah.
And so while they're there, they meet Flabber.
Happy Flabber Day! Who loves you? I'm free! Fat free, happy, and
Home free.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And he's this like cross between the genie from Aladdin and like this cheesy Elvis impersonator. Like he can change different characters. He flies around, all kinds of weird hijinks. And it's like, hey, the episode's almost over here. Let's cut to it, Flabber. But I guess since they knew it was going to be a two-parter, they knew they had the time to just make this guy do his goofy stuff. But anyways, yeah, so basically what he tells them is they can make a wish.
Whoa, is this guy for real?
I don't know. Look, let's just make a wish and get out of here.
Hey, how about the dirt bike?
That'd be cool.
Wait, I know. If this is a dream, let's make it a good one. Let's be superheroes. Beetleborgs.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, okay, we want to be Beetleborgs.
So it was set up earlier that Drew wished that he were a Beetleborg, and yet here, Joe's the one who ends up making the wish for them to become Beetleborgs, which is, I don't know, a minor nitpick, but I feel like it would have worked better if it was Drew who made the wish, since he already had that fantasy earlier. But I guess I know they're all three of them are fans of the comic, so I mean, I guess the wish could have came from any. Story-wise, though, it would have made more sense for Drew to do it since he set it up earlier.
Wait a minute. What's going on? We're stuck in the comic book.
You got to get it together, kid.
Yeah, this is more like it. Oh, look at me. I'm the Red Strikerborg. And I've got the Striker Blaster. Yeah.
Whoa, this is so cool. I'm the Blue Stingerborg. Check out my Stinger Blade.
What about me? I'm the Green Hunterborg, and I've got the Hunter Claw.
Yeah.
So in part 2, Flabber grants their wish, and they become the Big Bad Beetleborgs. And they have this whole chase thing, fighting the monsters.
Didn't know you were messing with the Beetleborgs, did you? Yeah.
That's my brother.
Yeah. Not so fast.
Nice tan.
I resent this scene. I don't think that a Beetleborg could defeat a vampire like me, Dracula. Speaking of which, you know, Scalefire, you brought Dracula to our little Halloween episode here. But I'm going to bring the Blue Beetleborg. That's right. Dracula. I've dealt with vampires before. Even though Fangula wasn't much of a threat, I know I can take you. You bug me, Beetleborg. Okay, so anyways, after the tussle with the monsters, the villains from the comic book kind of zap themselves out as well. Turns out Flabber kind of left the magical door open. And so when he took their Beetleborgs powers out of the comic, it also let loose all the villains.
They're not just pictures.
Ooh, baby, it feels so good to be three-dimensional.
You could say that again. Oh, and you know what would really make the day complete? To do some serious three-dimensional damage. What do you say?
So these are the Magnivores, the three sort of sidekicks to the main villain.
Who's that?
Oh, maybe she owes him money.
And I love that they go in this theater and they're watching Nosferatu. This whole episode, and this basically kind of the whole series, just has a lot of cool homages to the Universal monsters. Obviously all the monsters there in the Haunted Mansion. We got a Wolfman, a mummy, a vampire, and of course a Frankenstein, or Frankenbeans as they call him. And then now we get the actual Nosferatu. This is awesome. And so then the Magnivores, they meet in this spooky, foggy graveyard.
Whoa, I'm stuffed.
Oh, can't believe I ate all that junk.
Well, at least you could eat.
Oh, look at this place. It's a perfect rendezvous point. It's dark, secluded, no worrying about the neighbors. Oh, you gotta hand it to him, Vexor. He sure got a flair for the dramatic.
And then they meet their leader, Vexor, who actually happens to sound like Boris Karloff.
Where have you been? Get your sorry carcasses in here. I haven't got all century.
So again, another Universal Monsters reference there, which is awesome.
No offense, boss, but you're the brains of this outfit. You should come up with a plan.
That's right.
What do you think I've been doing? Twiddling my thumbs while you clowns were having a good time?
No, absolutely not.
Go back to the Phasm's lair and find a way to get rid of those Beetleborgs.
That's it? That's the plan? Couldn't you be a little more specific?
Just go!
And I love how she's just that's the plan, because in a lot of these shows, in Power Rangers, whenever they say they have a plan, it's just let's just go get them. It's just oh, that's your plan. There's no strategy, there's no double crossing, no nothing. It's just just go get them. And I love that she even calls it out, what the, that's it? Okay.
Oh, what a dump this is!
Where are
Spread out. Find the Beetleborgs.
So the Magnivores attack at the Haunted Mansion. They do the plan, which is attack the Beetleborgs and capture them. So that's their plan. So they start attacking, and the kids transform into the Beetleborgs.
Let's go. Yeah!
And I love too that when they fight, they've got these like comic book onomatopoeia like flashing on the screen. It kind of is reminiscent of the old Batman, the 1966 Batman show. Not done as well though, of course, because they just put CGI over the screen, but it's actually looks less like a comic book.
You want some more?
Darius, I think we've done enough for Monday, don't you?
Man, this is getting ridiculous.
You can say that again. I'm losing track of how many bad guys we've taken out today.
Well, they finally defeat the Magnivores, and Vexor has this plan to like try and capture them. His next plan is let's just catch them when they're off guard. So whatever. They go back to the mansion and they think everything's over, but Flabber lets them know like, hey, no, like you guys still need to stop him. Oh yeah, and you also have these new magical powers.
Oops.
Whoa! I have brain power. Aw, man. You always get all the luck. I have super strength.
Did you see that? I've got supersonic speed.
I feel like because in the tokusatsu, there's not a lot of usable footage where they're in the suits. So that's why this show has to have like so much extra like American footage. So giving them their own little special powers, I think is kind of a cool idea. It gives them something to do while they're waiting to use like the 5 minutes of usable Beetleborg footage.
Looks like we won the bet.
Who are you kidding? You chickens took off long before we did.
Did not.
Did too.
Then we have Trip and Van, of course, refusing to admit that they lost, despite all the evidence against them. Like, what kind of people actually do that? But anyways, they're just like, oh yeah, you guys totally lost. But they didn't, because they were literally there for like the whole episode. And Drew decides to use his new magical powers to get back at them. And he dumps the bucket of water on them, and there they go. It's not as, it's not like a big goopy mess like usually happens to Bulk and Skull, but sort of a similar vibe there. But anyways, yeah, that's the first episode, or the first 2 episodes of Big Bad Beetleborgs. This is one that I really liked because, yeah, I just really liked that. It wasn't exactly like Power Rangers, but that was okay because what they gave us was still pretty good. We got the monster. I love the whole monster subplot. I love that it just has its own sort of wacky vibes going on, and yeah, they thrive with it.
That's right, mate. It's a pretty good show. Now, me and Dracula are gonna go scare some kids for Halloween.
Yes. Listen to them. The children of the night. What music they make. Guys, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, Skullfire, I thought you were a reformed villain. You're supposed to be a good guy now.
Yeah, well, it's Halloween night. Time to have a little bit of fun.
And I'm literally Dracula.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
What are you going to do to me, little Beetleborg?
Alright, take this. You guys won't be going after any kids tonight. Whatever, mate. Come on, let's go, Dracula.
So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave in the comments if you ever watched this show, if you were a fan of it, if you thought what they did to it was horrible, or if you like what they did to the tokusatsu footage. Thanks everybody, and Rad Venture out.